It is important we look at it from both formal and informal sector to mainstream it as a way forward. That's what I think.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lamin Kasama. Maybe on a final note, we would just want to have the Honorable Minister to buttress on this issue of capacity building, as you just brightly mentioned. Currently, there are a series of workshops going on in the country to capacitize Gambians on how to act in the event of climate change disasters and problems. We call it the Gambia early warning systems on climate change. Currently, there is already the last of this series of workshops happening in the Kama. Honorable Minister, looking at this adaptation and mitigation efforts that we have to sort of domesticate here in the Gambia, what is your take on that?
Ismaila, I mean, we would talk about adaptation, although mitigation is very, very important, because that is why we are fighting for these greenhouse gas reductions, the ambition level. Because if we don't do that, it means we are going to adapt even more. Right now we need to adapt, Banjul needs to adapt to any sea level rise that may occur, or any temperature rise that will cause sea level rise. But mainstreaming climate change into national development plans, as rightly said by the Executive Director of the National Environment Agency, is very, very key. But we have to look at it at two levels. Let's now look at the multilateral level. At the multilateral level, it is not mandatory for us to include in our development plans. But if we don't do that, it means we are standing alone. But we are not doing that. The government is taking up all the responsibilities. For example, the crop failure last year. It is associated with climate change. But we did not sit down. What the Vice President did very well in mobilizing all those funds and all those other resources that were used for upcountry, and especially those communities that suffered even more, those 19 communities. Therefore, we are always doing our part, but it is always on a haphazard basis or ad hoc basis. It happens and then we react. It happens and then we react. What we want is permanent at the level of the multilateral process. And that is why the mainstreaming of climate change, in one of the articles of the convention, that is Article 4.1F, it says mainstream as far as feasible. As far as feasible interpreted, they should fund what we are mainstreaming. Because if we mainstream at this level, then it means we're going to implement whatever we have mainstream, because it's in our development path. On the other hand, if you look at the page, climate change is mainstream, cutting across the board. And what we did at the resource mobilization workshop that we have had here at Kairaba with donors, what we did is extracted all the cross-cutting climate change mainstreamed items. Then we presented it as climate change, and it was also costed. So they are all costed and mainstreamed into the page if you look at all the institutions, since it is a cross-cutting. And one of the projects also, what we are doing in the Gambia, we are hoping that this backwater dump site, which is going to be a CDM project, and it would also contribute to Operation Clean the Nation.
Yeah, CDM's Clean Development Mechanism. Clean
Development Mechanism.
One of the funding systems for the...
In fact, it's not funding. It is projects together, because it is a mechanism where you have the developed countries trying to reduce their own greenhouse gases. They cannot do it at their level, because they cannot tell families, don't use 2 cars, use 1 car. Remove your refrigerator, or do not use a freezer, or don't use petrol, use diesel, so something like that. So it's already established. So they implement them in developing countries. And then what is gained, those carbon which is reduced, is monetized. And that is what we use for the project. And we are looking at other similar projects, like electrification, like everything that the Executive Director has mentioned. So we are doing things at the level, and we continue writing proposals at all levels, and we're encouraging. You talked about RED, but RED Plus is also very important for agriculture because that's the agricultural land and agricultural process. I'm sorry, I'm being signaled, but next time we will.
We are running out of time, Honorable Minister. I know you want to, continue this passionate debate for a long time, but maybe we just have one more word from Pa Ousman on the way forward in climate programs here in the Gambia. Just a minute.
Ismaila, the way forward is that we have about 3 projects that would be implemented here. So I think we need to focus on the more than 20 million that we have already acquired, so that at least it would filter down to the Gambian population.
Thank you very much, Director of Water Resources and University Focal Point, Mr. Pa Ousman Jaju, the Senior Conservation Officer, but they are responsible for the Department of Plants and Wildlife, Honorable Kasama, Honorable Minister of Forestry and the Environment, and the Executive Director of International Environment Agency, Mr. Pasar. Honorable Minister, of course, is Mrs. Fatou Ndege. I'm Ms. Marcelo. Thank you very much for being there.
Thank you.
Catwalk. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for our first Miss Kari Bojang from Banjul. Put your hands together for Kari. Make some noise. I'll let you know, boy. I know one day, this will be the one day. Oh yeah. Mankind is so dangerous. You got to be careful and don't trust her. Mankind is so dangerous. We pass those stages to be so gorgeous. Mankind is so dangerous. You got to be careful and don't trust her. Mankind is so dangerous. We pass those stages to be so gorgeous. Sorry for all those who work in vain. The end of the day with us sweat and pain. We're together for Miss Over.
Sunland Music.
Hey, eu rolo fi. Hey, fala ni. Vou def lugar e def sense yo dando mundo fi. Hey, fala ni. Vou tanto ni. They could call us boring or whatever. It don't bother me. Kanyo, kanabula molo noma. Kanabula molo noma molo mambetia. Mfuruyo, kanabula molo noma. Kanabula molo noma molo mambetia. You know these guys, when they putting on disguise, they could act to be the coolest, don't be foolish, only lies. They what you need, hey, your friend, what they wanna do to you, definitely go cannon, a cannon, what the real at the end, hey. Yo, hold my feet, we're just a number, need good for nothing, call you after one, only when calls are free. Do not yo, hold fee, hey, don't follow me. We'll def lugari, def sense, yo, don't win the fee. Don't bother me. Canabula molo, canabula molo, molo, mambetia. Tamayo, canabula molo, canabula molo, molo, mambetia. Start a conversation when you try to sleep. Miss calls the whole day, do the call, then a beat. When you call back, I don't ever vibe when you speak. Then a left, doing the devil, and was worse, you're the cheap. Yo, hold on, fee. Bulls up company, good moment, but needing detects and gaming. Bullet made Lugai, the monopoly yalata. I love foundation strong, come to sympathize. Fuck us, tell the dirty so